So I spent my childhood in Atlanta, Georgia, in very disadvantaged, depraved conditions. Roach-infested apartment, subsidized housing, and eviction notices every other month. And so it was very difficult growing up as a child. And so my family moved back to Michigan, and Michigan was very good to us. We came here. We qualified for food stamps and subsidized housing. We didn't get the eviction notices anymore. But still there was a lot of disadvantage. And so the disadvantage of just not having money for stuff, just not having anything, not having work, not having clothes. There were times we didn't have money to go to the laundromat, and I wore dirty clothes to school, And when I heard about Upward Bound, it was just so amazing because we got to stay on campus. Most importantly, we got food, and the food was good. It was good food. So I didn't have to worry about being hungry. And I think a lot of times the students, you don't know what the students are going through because we kind of hold it all together, and nobody wants to say how disadvantaged they are, how difficult their circumstances are. But at Upward Bound, we were a family, and we helped each other out. And Sandy, Glenda, Dr. Island, everybody was just so supportive. And even little things like college application fees, not having money for that, they said, "Oh, you can get a voucher for that. You get a voucher to cover that." And I was like, wow. So all those little things, they just added up and made all the difference. So I just say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. And so fast forward to today, Claudia and I live in the Washington, D.C. area, and I went to college because I knew that education was important, and that was my ticket out of poverty. I knew that I wasn't going to make it singing or dancing or being an entertainer or anything. I had to go to school. So I went to school, studied engineering, and that's where the money was, so that's what I studied, and I got a full scholarship. I was a Stokes Scholar from the CIA. I got a CIA scholarship to study electrical. And then once I worked for the CIA, I realized that something was missing. I was doing a lot of volunteering in the community, and I really wanted to be able to help people. And so I decided to go back to medical school. So now I'm a medical doctor. I have 2 practices in the Washington, D.C. area.
All right.
And
All right.
This year, we just purchased a medical condo. So we own the real estate that both of our practices are in as well. And so Claudia and I, we help each other out. We share tips, and now our offices are in the same building. We bought condos in the same medical building. So we help each other out. We're like sisters, and it all started with Upward Bound. So I just can't thank you enough.
So my story is very similar to Angela's. We both went to Sexton High School. Angela was a senior when I was a freshman, and she was my big sister. Oh, I'm sorry. She was my big sister in Elegante, if you guys can remember all that stuff back in the 80s. Okay. So when I moved to Washington, D.C., I really didn't know anyone. We had a mutual friend, and I went to a baby shower, and Angela hosted. So we reconnected, which was such a good thing because she had already started her practice. I was starting mine. She started a second office. She owns both of her practices. I just bought mine. We're in the same building. Her kids come to my practice. I'm their pediatric dentist. I go to her office. So, it's been really good. And recently she moved, within 3 miles of my house. So it's been great to have someone from Lansing so close to me, but then also someone whose journey is so similar. I mean, from Upward Bound to high school to both becoming doctors. So, and now I have a nephew in the program, and he's spoiled. He sees all that I have. and I have to remind him, you know, there's a reason, because I put in 11 years of higher education. I've been to an HBCU, a Big Ten, that's blue and maize, so.
Go blue.
University, and I finished up at Howard. So Upward Bound definitely set the stage for me for a long journey of higher education, but it was totally worth it. And I'm so glad that Angela is my neighbor out there, and it's been good.
Oh, good.